The stars are big and bright deep in the heart of Texas. But will they be shining on Sunday for America's team? Or will the Giants dim those lights and shock the football world? Folks, we've got a classic NFC East slugfest coming our way, and it's packing more drama than a daytime soap opera. Injuries, rivalries, and playoff hopes on the line. This Cowboys-Giants matchup has it all. Buckle up, football fans, because we're about to break down every angle of this gridiron showdown. From Doc's arm to Saquon's ankle, we're leaving no stone unturned. So whether you bleed blue and white or blue and red, stick around, because this is one preview you can't afford to miss. Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for all things America's team. Whether you bleed blue and silver or are just starting to catch Cowboys fever, this is the place. If you are a diehard fan, please make sure to subscribe for more latest news and updates of your favorite team. We're diving deep into one of the most anticipated matchups of Week 4 in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. This NFC East showdown is always a heated battle, and with both teams looking to make their mark this season, we've got plenty to unpack. So grab your favorite game day snack, settle in, and let's break down everything you need to know about this clash of rivals. First up, let's talk injuries, because they're playing a major role for both squads heading into this one. The Cowboys have been dealt some tough blows recently, with star cornerback Trayvon Diggs suffering a season-ending ACL tear in practice. This is a massive loss for Dallas's secondary, as Diggs has been a turnover machine and a key piece of their defense. The Cowboys will need to adjust quickly, likely relying more on second-year corner Darren Bland and veteran Stephon Gilmore to pick up the slack. On the offensive side, Dallas is still waiting on the return of Pro Bowl guard Zach Martin, who's been dealing with a groin injury. His status for Sunday's game remains up in the air, and his absence would be a significant hit to the Cowboys' offensive line. Keep an eye on the practice reports this week to see if Martin can suit up. For the Giants, the injury bug has bitten hard as well. Star running back Saquon Barkley is still nursing an ankle sprain from Week 2, and while he's made progress, his availability for Sunday is far from certain. Losing Barkley would be a huge blow to New York's offense, as he's not only their primary rusher, but also a key outlet in the passing game for quarterback Daniel Jones. The Giants are also monitoring the status of left tackle Andrew Thomas, who's been battling a hamstring issue. Thomas is a cornerstone of their offensive line, and his absence has been felt in the first few weeks. If he can't go, it could spell trouble for Jones against a fierce Dallas pass rush. Now, let's talk matchups, because this game is full of intriguing ones. Perhaps the most exciting will be the Cowboys' explosive offense against a Giants' defense that's shown flashes of brilliance, but has also been inconsistent. Dak Prescott and the Dallas passing attack have been finding their groove, with CeeDee Lamb emerging as a true number one receiver. They'll be going up against a Giants secondary led by cornerback Adoree Jackson, who will have his hands full trying to contain Lamb. On the ground, Tony Pollard has been electric for the Cowboys, proving that he's more than capable of being the lead back after Ezekiel Elliott's departure. He'll be facing off against a Giants run defense that's been stout at times, but has also shown vulnerability. Keep an eye on how New York's linebacker core, led by Bobby Okereke, handles Pollard's combination of speed and power. Flipping to the other side of the ball, the Giants' offense will have its work cut out against a Dallas defense that, even without Diggs, is loaded with talent. The Cowboys' pass rush, featuring Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and emerging star Sam Williams, could wreak havoc on a Giants' offensive line that's been shaky to start the season. Daniel Jones's mobility will be crucial in escaping pressure and extending plays. If Barkley can't go, the Giants will likely turn to a committee approach in the backfield, with Matt Breida and Gary Brightwell sharing carries. They'll be running into the teeth of a Dallas front seven that's been tough against the run, anchored by defensive tackle Osa Odikizua and linebacker Leighton Vander Esch. Now, let's spotlight some key players to watch in this matchup. For the Cowboys, all eyes will be on Micah Parsons. The versatile linebacker/edge rusher has been nothing short of phenomenal to start the season, racking up sacks and pressures at an alarming rate. His ability to line up all over the field makes him a nightmare for opposing offenses to game plan against. Look for Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn to unleash Parsons in creative ways to disrupt the Giants' offensive rhythm. On the Giants side, keep a close watch on rookie center John Michael Schmitz. The second-round pick out of Minnesota has been thrown into the fire, starting from week 1, and he's had his share of growing pains. This week, he'll face perhaps his toughest test yet against the Cowboys' interior defensive line. How Schmitz holds up could be a major factor in whether the Giants can establish any kind of offensive consistency. In the receiving game, Dallas's Michael Gallup is a player who could be primed for a breakout performance. With defenses focusing on containing CeeDee Lamb, Gallup has a chance to exploit single coverage and remind everyone why he was once considered one of the league's most promising young wideouts before injuries derailed his progress. For New York, tight end Darren Waller needs to step up and be the safety valve that Daniel Jones desperately needs. Waller was brought in during the offseason to be a game-changing weapon in the passing game, but he's yet to truly explode in a Giants uniform. This could be the week where he becomes the focal point of the offense, especially if Barkley is limited or out. Let's not forget about special teams, which could play a crucial role in what might be a tightly contested game. The Cowboys have one of the league's most reliable kickers in Brandon Aubrey, who's been automatic so far this season. On the other side, Giants punter Jamie Gillan, known as the Scottish Hammer, has been a weapon in the field position battle with his booming kick. In a division rivalry game like this, field position and those crucial 3 points could make all the difference. As we look at the broader context of this game, it's worth noting where these teams stand in the NFC East race. The Cowboys are off to a hot start and looking to establish themselves as true contenders not just in the division, but in the conference as a whole. A win here would go a long way in cementing their status as one of the NFC's elite teams. For the Giants, this game feels like an early season crossroads. After a disappointing start, they're in danger of falling into an early hole in the division. A win against their rivals could be just the spark they need to turn their season around and prove that last year's playoff appearance wasn't a fluke. The history between these two teams adds another layer of intrigue to Sunday's matchup. The Cowboys have dominated the series in recent years, winning 11 of the last 12 meetings. The Cowboys' offense seems to have more weapons to withstand the loss of a star player, while the Giants' fate may hinge on Saquon Barkley's availability. Ultimately, I see the Cowboys' pass rush being the deciding factor. Even if Daniel Jones can escape Micah Parsons a few times, the constant pressure is likely to force some mistakes. Look for Dallas to capitalize on a turnover or two and pull away in the second half.